you haven't seen the Warlock, this fixture is actually powered by the Philips Platinum 2R lamp. So there you're seeing the power of this. This is a great fixture if you're looking for a centerpiece type effect. It does have a barrel mirror which can rotate around. Here's some of the colors that it has. One thing I really like about this is you do have different gobos that you can select from. And as you see, that gobo wheel is very, very fast. But it also does have a prism rotating mirror in there. So if you wanted to get a really nice effect, you could do that. And with super fast rotation and panning of that mirror, you get a very, very great effect that covers a lot of area. So once again, that's the Warlock, brand new. That's one of the first pieces we have. All of our other ones are on samples. Some of them got left in Germany. And this is the only one, I believe, right now that's in the United States. So this is going to go to New York with us, and Florida, and all that mess.
What if you break it?
That's where we got to be very careful. And it was funny. I actually hung this an hour ago. I had the lift in here, I hung it, and it was funny because everything else is ready to go, and I'm picking up the Warlock, and all of a sudden my hands started shaking, so I was like, this is it. This is the last part of the puzzle. So that's the Warlock. But we got to be very careful with these products. Now this is a super punchy fixture. If you're familiar with the original Vizi Beam 5R, one thing that you'll notice is the Vizi Beam had a plastic lens on here. Now with the Vizi Beam 5RX, you have actually a glass lens. So for optics, we've compared this with the original Vizi Beam 5R and saw a huge difference as far as the optics and the output. You know, of course, being a lot more powerful. It's a bigger, bulkier fixture, and that's because one of the reasons is we improved the prism on it also. So versus the Vizi Beam 5R, which had a three-facet prism, this actually now has an 8. We've added more gobos, so you get still those pinpoint gobos that you can select, as well as other objects, and also more colors. This has close to 16 or 17 different colors, including UV. And with the UV, it's very, very powerful with that 5R lamp. So if you're looking for a fixture to have a powerful beam with UV, this is the way to go. Also, what we did with this is we also included PowerCon connection on the back for power. So PowerCon, as you know, is a lot more sturdy than the regular IEC cable because this can actually lock, unless you had a locking IEC. But you do have PowerCon in and out. So if you're using multiples of these, you can link these together, granted if you had the correct amount of power to power these. So with that, the Vizi Beam 5RX is very, very fast. And I don't know if you noticed on there too, the frost on this has actually been improved versus the regular Vizi Beam. Now you get an even wider area of frost with the Vizi Beam 5RX, and added with colors, you get a lot of nice color mixing. There's the frost there. So you can see between the 4 of these, it's covering a very, very nice area here. So that's the brand new Vizi Beam 5RX. You guys have any questions? One other great thing about it too, when the regular Vizi Beam came in, I think it started off at about a street price of $1,500. This one's $1,200 street price. So it's powerful, bigger, better, and more affordable. So great in any way you're looking at it. The next fixture I'm going to talk about is one of my newest favorites also. This is the Kaos. So with the Kaos, if you're familiar with the sweeper beam, this has pretty much that same concept where these are 8-watt LEDs. You have red, green, blue, and white chips on there. And as you can probably guess, it is pixel controllable, or zone controllable. I could control each one of those to whatever color of my liking, and I could do some really nice chases. And let me just put on this real quick. So very nice colors. Rotation in any direction, you can control the speed, and it is infinite rotation in any direction also, as you can see there. So great effect if you're looking for a centerpiece again, just like the Warlock. The Kaos is something that you can definitely do. It may look bulky, but this fixture weighs in probably about 20, 22 pounds. So with one person hanging this, it's no problem. And it does have a double bracket kit. So if you're mounting this onto truss, you could do that, put a safety cable, no problem. And as you can see, coming at you, it's a great effect. If you're putting this over the dance floor, that's also a pretty nice effect that you can do, because those bars, there's 3 tilting bars on there that can be independently controlled. You can imagine just how much coverage you could get out of that, and with strobing and all that good stuff, makes the Kaos ideal for if you're looking for a centerpiece effect again. Any questions on the Kaos? All right, so the next product, if you're looking for a wash, this is our brand new COB Cannon Wash. Very, very powerful. And with the COB Cannon Wash, versus our other COBs that came in, we had our Lightning COB Cannon, as well as our UV COB Cannon. You'll notice that the design on the COB Cannon Wash, I think we have one down so you can take a look at it. The design is actually a little bit longer, and that goes in part with the cooling system that's built into it. So for installs especially, this is a great fixture because there's actually no fan noise at all. If you're using this in a TV studio, if you're trying to wash a large area for color, this is the great way to go because you're not going to hear any noise from this. It's flicker free, so you're not going to get any unwanted strobing. Now this is red, green, blue, and amber. So I'll just go through the colors there. Very, very nice colors. And one thing to note on here, I think the one we have down, we have the lenses that are included. There's 2 extra lenses. There's a 40 degree, a 50 degree, or you could just have the 80 degree like you're seeing there. And if this room was entirely dark and all I had was those 2, I would easily be able to wash the entire floor with those 2 if I angled them however I needed to. So that's the brand new COB Cannon Wash. Full DMX control. And one thing to note about all of these fixtures is whether you're using DMX or not, they all have awesome built-in shows. So if you weren't on a DMX controller or using a software or program, you could just plug these in. They all have built-in microphones, and you could just let the sound active controls on there, let them do their magic, because the programs are really awesome. You can still link them so that they could do the same programs. So those are the brand new fixtures that we're showing. And now, moving on to video, this is the brand new AV6 from ADJ. And of course it doesn't come on. Try a different video. There's my logo. Yeah. So the AV6, what you're seeing here is 12 panels. Yes, 12 panels. And so yeah, this is our introduction to the video world. It's a 6mm screen, and I'm just gonna talk about the way it's connected, what it is, for all you guys that maybe aren't familiar with video just yet. So by 12 panels, I'm using 4 panels across and 3 panels down. So that's where you get 4 by 3. Each panel consists of 96 of these pixels. So the way this works is I have PowerCon and EtherCon connections, and all I need to do is feed them the power, and I just daisy chain the power and the data. For this particular setup, we started from the upper right, across, down, to the right, down, then to the left. Now this one being my home run panel, I ran 1 long Ethernet cable to over here. And like Alfred and Tom were saying, you guys are going to have an opportunity to walk around and do hands-on, but this here is pretty much the brains of the operation. This is the processor. And with this processor, there's a software that's included by Novastar. And when you first open this software, it looks like something out of 1980s or something like that. But what it does is truly magical, because I can actually tell that software exactly how in my setup, whether it's a 4x3 like we have here, and I just do the calculation of the pixels, where I believe 96 by 4 is about 388 or 384, and 96 by 3 is about 288 or 284. And I tell the software that, and all I need to do is, once I have that set up, the most important thing is to actually click and drag, because you're going to actually see 12 panels, but they're going to be blank. I need to click on the first panel, which is this one, and I just drag the mouse, and you'll see on the software a red line that's following you. It's very important to do that on the processing software, how you have it set up, and that'll give you the correct output when you're outputting video to your video panels. If you do it incorrectly, you can have the right side on the left. It could be just crisscrossed. So that's very important, but it's very easy. Clicking and dragging takes a few seconds. And once that's done, all I gotta click is on a button that says send to hardware. It sends it to the hardware. That takes about 5 seconds. So setting up the video panels is actually the most time-consuming thing, because you wanna make sure that you set these up very evenly so that the surface is very clean. You don't see any gaps. And as far as the processor and all that, that seriously can only take about 5 minutes. And one of the great things about that too is if you're going from event to event and you have the same setup, you only need to do it once. So what I have here is, once I've sent this to the hardware, I no longer need that computer with that processing software. It's stored onto this processor, so it's saved in there as a memory, and all I need to do now is feed from this here. This is a product by Elation called the Zeus. And just that name lets you know that this is a serious tool here. But with the Zeus, I can output video, and this actually already has Media Master built into it, so it's just an awesome server. It's pretty much a computer. And with this, I'm just using DVI to go straight to the processor, because this actually needs to get a feed. So it receives the DVI from my computer, and it feeds out the Ethernet to my panels. So by doing that, that's how it's sending out the video. And in Media Master, which you guys can see here, it's I can select anything, whether it's visuals, movies, music videos. The software is independent, so if you were trying to do video mixing or anything like that, it could take a little bit more setup. I haven't tried using this processor just yet with my video mixing, but it does have, you know, the outputs and the input from my computer that I could probably do. So I would have to test that just to have a little more knowledge with that. But as of now, we're using the Media Master software. And what's nice about using Media Master is, as you can see, there's also all of this happening. So this is all the clean net. And when you think about it, I have 6 dots matrix. I have 4 illusion dots. I have 10 flash clean panels and 4 ultra clean bars, 18s. So with all of that, you can just imagine it's probably a mess of cables, but it's not. It's very simple. These dots matrix, they don't have clean net already built in, so I just use DMX cables and link them together into one of these, an easy clean. It's about the same size as our Wi-Fi transceiver. And from there, all of these pretty much, if they have the Cat5 connection or the Ethernet cables, they go into this net switch where they just all go in, and then from there it's just one cable that goes to the processor. So I'm using one Ethernet for all of my clean net and one DVI for all of my video. So now with just those 2 cables, I can control this entire room of clean net as well as that video. So I'll just go through some of the different content I have on here. And it's really as simple as just clicking and dragging up if I wanted to. So there I can black everything out. I can put that on full on so you can see that happening. Let's see, I have another video here. We have our product video also. So it's something we put together, and I'll just let this play for now because this is just a video that's showing all of the new products. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be right here. We have Edgar, Steve, Marco, Tom, Alfred, Peter, Ernie, Ted. We're all here. So we'll be happy to help you guys out. Feel free to do any hands-on. And thank you guys. I'll be doing another presentation on new products in case you missed it. I'll do that in about an hour or so. And once again, we have coffee, refreshments, and food, and Tom.
Let's give a big hand for Edgar.